everyone, it's Linda with icrafter, and I want to share a fun project of a different way to use my Thanks feather die. And you could see, look how pretty it is that you could cut all these feathers, and this is normally what you would play with, these individually cut feathers that you can color and do something really pretty with. But I want to show you a different way to use these. So let me go ahead and get started. So what I'm starting with is an A2 size card in a vertical format. And then I cut out of a neutral gray, so a little darker shade than the card in back, so it stands out. And I cut it to 4.5 inches wide by 3 3/8 inches tall. And I will put these dimensions in the description. And the only reason I made it a little wider than the card is so that you could trim it off to fit perfectly when you're done. You can do it to exactly 4 1/4. And then the next thing I did was I indicated a center line. And the reason I did that is because here's the die. And what I want to do is I want to line up the die with the center point. So let me show you what I eventually did, because I cut it 5 times. So this is what I got. So you could see I started off vertically, and then I went almost to the edge, and I also did another vertical here and another vertical here. And I did a slight pencil line to make sure I was lined up. And then to make it add a little variety, I die cut it from the back going in the opposite direction to give a little more interest. And the fun thing that I enjoyed about doing this was that it's designed so that some of the pieces fall out, some of these lines, so you can tear some of them out so that it doesn't look so perfectly symmetrical. And you get different looking feathers because feathers aren't always all marked the same. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few more out. So I cut a piece of foil cardstock to the same size as this top piece, and I'm going to layer them on top to get that fun shininess coming through. But to make it colorful, I'm going to use some alcohol ink, and I'm starting off with sunset orange, terracotta, cranberry, and oregano. I don't know if I'll use all of them, but I wanted to use some autumny colors. Now what I want to do is, because I know roughly where the area is, I want to start adding the colors a little drip at a time. Now they're going to overlap a little bit, but that's okay. I always think that alcohol inks are very forgiving because you can always move the colors around later. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first. And I know I don't want them to all be the same. So you can see, kind of guessing where everything is. Okay. Now let's do a little bit. This is alcohol inks will start moving about, so it's kind of interesting. You get unexpected things happening as you work. So let's see. I think what I'll do is, okay, so you can see how that looks. And then when we put this on top of it, you can see how shiny that's going to be. Okay, I like how that turned out. So out of the folded maple leaf die set, it comes with the words happy and then autumn's underneath here. So you can see happy. So I die cut that out of silver cardstock, the same silver cardstock, and I'm going to add a little bit of alcohol ink, but I'm going to do it in such a way that I'm going to try to get it a little bit of color just on the bottom. So that way, and then autumn's going to be along the top. So we need to go back and do a few things. Okay, so let me go ahead and adhere this down. We will be trimming it in before we put it down on the card. So I think I need to put a little more up here to make sure all the corners are stuck down. So let me show you how this looks right now. Isn't that pretty? There's some real prettiness happening there. Okay, so now we're going to adhere this to the front of the card. Now I didn't put any adhesive on these two edges because I know I will be trimming them away. So, okay. So now I'm going to trim away these extra pieces on the side. Okay. And I'm going to add the words, and what I'm going to do is how I colored these halfway up with the alcohol ink. I am going to overlap parts of it, the parts that are inked, is going to overlap with the gray panel. So it's just another way to use the feathers. And like I said, these are what the feathers look like. If you could see that. And then the negative space creates something really pretty. And when you use it with alcohol inks, the intensity of those colors is just gorgeous. That's using the thanks feathers and the folded maple leaf, the happy autumn from the folded maple leaf. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye.